Since Disney has taken over Star Wars, we've seen good, we've seen bad, and even the good is not that great. But now that we have Skeleton Crew coming out, I needed someone else to come on with me.
Whoa!
We got Hayden Wayne back. How you doing, man?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing great. I am in VTuber form, my 2.0 update. But yeah, no, doing great, man. Excited to talk about the Star Wars stuff because as a longtime fan of Star Wars, I have my shall we say hesitations at this point based on what Star Wars has given us so far.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what the heck I was saying when I was like, there's been some good. What was some good? Ray was attractive to the eyes. Finn and Poe had potential that was squandered. Like there could have
Yes.
been good, but I haven't seen a dadgum thing good in a long time.
I would say the only thing that Disney did that was okay was probably Rogue One because it wasn't offensive to anything. It just took an old Star Wars story, bastardized it, and then, made their own kind of thing, which wasn't terrible, but it was moderately boring.
So during this next portion, I'm just going to play the trailer while we're talking over it. So just stay tuned. It also tied up the loose ends. Like the story ends with everyone dying.
Yeah.
So they didn't leave any loose ends for Ahsoka to show up.
No, they did not. But, modern day Disney Star Wars, they love to cram everything they possibly can into the franchise that has already got a fan base and a name.
True. Yeah. Well, one thing that we've seen, so when they went down the animated route before Dave Filoni did questionable things with his dog, or maybe at the time, they had the animated series The Clone Wars, which was highly lauded. And now they're doing a live action, basically aimed towards children, thing called The Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
anything about it yet?
I think I may have seen the first trailer, and it's my memory on it is basically just Jude Law is in it, and it looks like the Goonies, but Star Wars. And we were told that's not what this is. But other than that, I've not seen anything about it.
Mhm. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people trying to kind of say it's like a Star Wars version of the Goonies, on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
And after watching the second trailer, which just came out 2 days ago, I kind of would have to agree with them. So what I'm going to do right now is show you something from our good friends at Kotaku. That was
Oh,
completely tongue in cheek. They are not our good friends, but even they're saying it. Look at this, guys. Skeleton Crew trailer is indeed just the Goonies in space, and it rules, man.
we knew it. We knew this was what it was going to be, and they tried to gaslight us and tell us that that was not the case. But here they are admitting it, and we know Kotaku is in the middle of all of this incestuous relationship happening between Hollywood, games, and the journalism that brings the two things together. I'm curious to know what they know about not toxic because we have different definitions of toxic. And what I've been saying is I want something that's non offensive, but we also have different definitions of non offensive. So I'm curious where they're going to go with this.
True. I think what they mean by non toxic is they aren't saying really like defamation or slurs towards Leslie Headland or, the limp fish that Ahsoka was, where she crosses her arms and is unimpressed with your performance in bed.
But
I think that's kind of what they mean by it.
do you really think that that's what Disney means by non toxic? Or do they mean generally non offensive, which is the position that I take? Because if this is a non offensive show and they're not trying to cram any kind of like ideology or anything like that into it, then I think the show could be okay, but I don't think they have the same definitions that we do.
Well, okay, so this is what going back to this is kind of what we've wanted for a really long time. We just want something without political messaging. And if you saw the absolute bomb, bombastic, that's not the right word for it, but if you saw the actual success of Inside Out 2, where people thought there was going to be messaging and there actually wasn't. And look how well that movie did. Maybe they mean this. This is what we hope this is what I hope they mean is that there's not messaging and instead it is just a ragtag group of friends, which is what this article goes on to say. It's challenging to watch Disney's Zoo Skeleton Crew trailer, not compare it to The Goonies, which remains one of the best movies of all time. Debatable, however, I'm inclined to halfway agree. At least one of the most fun.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, definitely fun and part of a lot of our childhoods for people who are still fans of the original Star Wars. There are quite a few of us out here.
Yeah.
But despite what many of us would like to believe, an entire generation hasn't seen the Goonies. They need their own version of a ragtag group of kids embarking on an exciting adventure. Skeleton Crew may fill that gap, but only time will tell. Now, this kind of seems like they're on the same page with us as of now. I'm not saying I'm not giving spoilers or anything like that. We're just going off of what they're saying in this. But yeah, that's kind of all we want too. But can you make it work?
The question is, can you remake the Goonies with a Star Wars brand on it? Because everything that you've tried to do, Disney, so far that has a Star Wars brand on it has not hit the way that we wanted it to. Because ideology always has to get involved.
True. Now, just going over a little synopsis real quick. Jude Law. I don't know why they put Sky Captain of the World Tomorrow in there. That movie's from like 2004 or 2005. No one remembers that. Better known as Watson from the Sherlock Holmes series, Kerry Condon and Ryan Kiera. The Skeleton Crew tells the story of four young children who discover a strange underground bunker on their home planet, which leads to a galaxy-spanning adventure. It's a tale filled with adventure, danger, a diverse array of alien life forms throughout the Star Wars universe, and, of course, space travel. So, yes, from what I'm seeing here, it basically kind of is just like one of those coming-of-age tales where, a group of kids, the Misfits Club, anything like that, they get swept up into something bigger than themselves, kind of like every South Park episode. Shenanigans ensue. We'll have action, adventure, comedy, and friendship. What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that, taking it from the base that they present to us. It seems like something that could actually make a good show. The question is, in the execution, are they able to deliver it in the way that we want to see it? Not just as a copy paste with a brand over the top of it, but as something that is original and feels like an authentic story.
Yeah, can they make you connect with the characters, or are they all just carbon copies of what people think children are?
Yeah.
Well, don't want to get too much on a high horse. Like, we are neither praising nor denigrating what might come out. We will be excited to see it, just to see where they're going with it. Maybe it is a true return to form. But Jude Law, the top billed actor on this, also is saying Skeleton Crew might be a season 1 only because of the Stranger Things problem. Now, do you know what that means, Hayden?
Yeah, as in everybody ages up a little bit faster than they're able to actually produce a show. And it could also be a season 1 only because of what we saw with Star Wars The Acolyte, where it didn't garner the audience that they thought it was going to. So I guess it remains to be seen what happens.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. They might be hedging their bets a little bit for many reasons. Not only has this not only has this been in development for quite a long time and it's just now making the light of day, which could be another reason why they're hesitant to go ahead and green light a season two, going along with your thing. But Jude Law, he does bring up that exact same thing. Well, I believe he says in this article it was filmed in 2022 and early
Oof.
2023. That's when
Yeah.
it was filmed. Then it went to post production. Now we're going to get it at the very end of 2024. And all
Yeah.
these kids are going through puberty. Voices change, their heights change, their facial features change, freaking acne, all kinds of stuff is going on.
Well, the thing is that Stranger Things did a good job by jumping ahead several years whenever they had to film their next couple of seasons. And it kind of made up for, okay, the actors have grown up. But if you're doing, from what I understand, a show where they use a ship and they travel throughout space, they'll either have to fall back on the typical Star Wars time travel doesn't exist since Disney took over kind of thing, right? Because you just instantaneously are wherever you're traveling to, and they'll have to lean into that, or they can build a story based off of, okay, it takes several years to get somewhere. So we'll just have to see where they go with that.
Well, here's the kind of the thing that I want to say. I agree with you in that if it is successful enough, they will find a way to make time jumps and stuff. But it kind of seems the way that they should do this, it should be a one-off story. Because if you want it to make it the Goonies, well, we didn't want Goonies 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be a contained story that was full of magic and friendship, love, coming of age, all within a contained story. One season of TV. If you can't accomplish that and that, you should quit being a writer. I don't
Yeah.
think it needs to go beyond that.
No, if you're going to make something that's similar to the Goonies, I think you just have to make a movie. And that's what's weird about them making this into a series, because I don't know how it can survive, because it needs to be a short, contained story about a group of outcast friends that find a item, object, ship, whatever it may be, and then move on with knowing that and have an end to the story, not something that you continue along with. So it's strange to me that they didn't take the movie route with this and they've instead decided to make it a series.
I feel like there's a possibility that the reason why they didn't go the movie route because they didn't know that they could bank on it, and they've been losing money hand over fist with anything that they put out. So at least releasing it as a TV show might be able to live on in perpetuity in some form.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like movies
And then the
can
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say movies can survive over long periods of time, but they don't make a ton of money after that. It's the TV shows that they require the returning viewership, but that's a harder story to write because it has to bring people in enough that they are so engulfed in the story that they want to return season over season, year over year.
Yeah, I mean that's just one of many possible reasons why they chose this route. I also think that in order to advertise a film that's going to theaters, they would need a more surefire hit. They would also need to spend a lot more on advertisement than they are, when it could just simply be sold as a kids television series, completely family friendly. You can all sit around pizza night on Friday evenings and watch it with your entire family, and maybe that garners a
Yeah.
following that way. But that's only if they stick to not messaging within the story and just keep it good, clean, wholesome Star Wars fun.
But do we trust Disney to keep it with the
We don't
messaging out
trust
of it?
Disney with crap, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't know if this is going to hit. I think that at best this is generally non-offensive, But I think we do get some, as they would call it, gay coded relationships where they don't straight up tell us that somebody is gay, but they're going to give a big recipe for the shippers to be able to ship whatever characters they want to. And we know that shippers are worse than furries because they will ship anybody. Let's be real.
True. It'd be weird to ship kids though. Well, that's
Shippers will do it.
it's not without the realm, but
Shippers will do it. Seen it happen 1,000 times.
yeah, but I would rather not think about that or have to think about it,
True.
and hopefully they don't do it.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope that what we get is a wholesome story of a group of friends that discover something and it leads them on some unexpected journey. That's what I want to see. And if you stick a Star Wars label on it, okay, that's fine. Just make it fit within the Star Wars universe. I just don't trust Disney to give us something that doesn't have anything weird randomly plugged into it.
Yeah. Follow the path of Drunk 3PO with Achromatic Chronicles Blue and Green, which is just entered into its pre-sale phase. It's going to be available until January. He's already sold over $50,000 in sales. We support him greatly, and he knows how to put a ragtag group of kids together for a greater cause. Great books. Go find them. Nagranal will link the link. Yeah, we'll drop the links in the description down below. But Hayden, do you have anything you want to say before we head out?
Now, rippasend.com is where you can find that. RIPPASEND.com. And then you can find me at Hayden Wayne 75 on YouTube and on X. And yeah, I'm hanging out with the GCA every Wednesday evening.
Heck yeah, you are. You all know where you can find me, a multi with the GCA. Thanks, Hayden, for coming out yet again. We will see y'all on Wednesday night and Monday with Off the Hip with ABF. Y'all take care.
Bye.